the show is all about educating people or learning about different business owners and entrepreneurs and how they got to their journey. And it's also about how the I3 Social Club can help you on your journey through business and then also investing as well. Today, we have a very special guest, Portia Dillard. Hi, Portia. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you, Brianna?
Doing great. Now, I do want people to get an idea of who you are as a person. So you want to give us a brief overview on who Portia is?
Well, very brief. Again, hi, my name is Portia N. Dillard. I am a mother, a daughter, a friend, a survivor, a community advocate, activist. I'm also a nonprofit owner as well.
Ooh, the nonprofit. That's awesome.
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
Definitely.
and what's the name of your nonprofit?
So my nonprofit I started in 2017. It's called Off the Chain Alliance, and I know a lot of people who question why did I name my
I was just about to ask you that.
And the best answer is when I initially decided to do a nonprofit in 2016. I was actually going in a different direction. It was more about Black liberation. That was just gonna be like my main focus. But I figured I should just redirect it. I also thought about the pain, the journey that I had to go through with the death of my older brother. So I wanted to honor him in some way. If I'm going to create some type of business, I need to honor my brother in some type of way. And this, to me, is the best way for me to honor my brother, was starting a nonprofit and helping other families that are in similar situations so anyhow, I'm sorry. Off the Chain Alliance, we assist disenfranchised minority families with wraparound services for grief. What that means is that when someone in their family passes away, their loved one, Off the Chain Alliance creates an empathy basket to give the family. We also, if we have funding, help them, give them a couple $100 towards their funeral service. We also direct them to a grief therapist or a grief group or a grief counselor. And then lastly, we provide free educational workshops, just teaching them all things about end of life, meaning like estate planning, because not a lot of people, especially disenfranchised on income families, don't know about trust. They don't know about wills. They don't know what a whole life insurance is.
Right.
So just trying to educate them with everything about end of life preparation.
That's really good that you do that. So you said that basically you wanted to honor your brother. How does he kind of fit into all this?
Because we weren't able to afford his funeral. And when I think about it, it just hurts my heart because from the ninth grade to my senior year, I went to Redlands High School in Redlands, California, and each year a fellow passed away. And we always had to do a car wash, or we had to do a bake sale, but mainly we had to do car washes to help the family raise money so they could even bury their children. And it usually took them about a month to do it.
Oh, wow. So that was even when you were in high school.
Even when I was in high school, but I didn't realize that it was going to be my calling. And then 10th grade, same thing. Ninth grade, a friend named Mike, he passed away, but his family was able to piece things together, but it took him a couple weeks. And then in my 10th grade year, a guy named Raymond, he passed away from strep throat.
No way.
Yeah, from strep throat. He was in a hospital, and strep throat killed him. And it took his family about a month to bury him.
Yeah.
And then my junior year, I want to say this one guy, he didn't really go to our school, but I knew who he was. He was playing Russian roulette. Yeah.
He was legit playing?
Legit playing Russian roulette,
Oh,
and he
my
killed
goodness.
himself. So that was another person. And then my senior year, my brother, we lived in Loma Linda, right in the hills by the Loma Linda Hospital. It was on a Saturday. My mother and I were in Van Nuys at my oldest nephew's when he turned 5. We were at his birthday party. And my brother, of course, he didn't attend. He didn't go. I don't know what he was doing. I just know that while he was walking, he began to have an asthma attack. He dropped his inhaler out of his pocket before he walked out the door. So he didn't know that while he was having his asthma attack, he didn't know that his inhaler dropped out his pocket. So he's digging through his pockets trying to find his inhaler, can't find it. He sat down in somebody's driveway, laid back, and died pretty much. And they found him outside dead.
Oh wow,
pretty
I'm
much.
so sorry to hear that.
So,
Wow.
but again, what are we gonna do? You know, like, it was difficult for us to live, and I just didn't that. And I think that was a point in time too. I had to realize that we were low income. We were staying in a middle class neighborhood, but we were technically low income.
Wow, that's hard.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you're saying that it was hard for you guys to, so you guys didn't have the money to be able to take care of his final
Not at
expenses or
all.
anything?
We were able to get, because I'm originally from Michigan and I was raised out here in California. True Californian girl, but yeah, I'm by way. You know, I'm a Michigan transplant. Yeah, but so some of the family, I don't know why we weren't able to raise all the money. It's really it's really disheartening to even say that we weren't even able with all the family that we had, but we weren't. We were able to give the funeral home, and it's a funeral home in Southgate. I forget the name of it, but I think they are so awesome. They let us give them a deposit so we can at least have the viewing, so everybody can at least say their goodbyes.
Right.
It was just that we couldn't get his urn with the death certificate because we didn't pay off the balance.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's rough. And being in the life insurance industry, unfortunately, I've heard that sort of stories like that all the time because and it's just because, especially your brother, how old was he at that time, if you don't mind me asking?
No worries. He was 19 going on 20.
Oh, he was really young.
Very.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So, and that's what I tell people all the time too. Like, life is unpredictable. Yeah, plan for the future and everything. Of course, we should.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, especially when you have, it's something. Even though it's not something that you like to talk about, it should. The subject of life insurance. Just having that protection there does have to actually be kind of discussed to prevent situations like that from happening. And at the end of the day, it's not about, as an agent anyway, it's not just about, here, I just want to sell you a policy or anything like that. No, it's not about that at all, actually. It's about actually making sure that the family's protected in the event something were to happen. Literally, I can go on all day telling stories that seem so bizarre, or that, oh my gosh, that's never going to happen to me or my family or anything like that. And yet I talk to people, and it happens to people every single day. It's just life. Life is really unexpected and unpredictable. And so preparing for it is something that I think we all should do. It's funny because I've been in the life insurance industry since I think I was 20.
Okay.
And people used to make fun of me because I had got my will. I waited a couple years. I think I was 22 or 23 when I finally decided to go ahead and get my will and my life insurance policies and stuff like that together. Like, what are you doing? You're so young. Like, you never know,
Right.
So yeah, I'm sorry that your family had to go through that, but I totally understand the mission that you are set out to do. So with Off the Chain Alliance, I know that you guys are primarily working with individuals,
Disenfranchised,
right,
minority, low-income families,
right,
just within the Riverside and San Bernardino County.
Got
This
it.
is where I grew up at.
Okay. And how do people actually get in, find you guys? Do you seek after people, or what does that look like?
For the most part, even though Off the Chain Alliance has been incorporated for 5, almost 6 years, I'm still fairly new. People still kind of are trying to figure out what I do, but I'm in a lot of different groups on, like, Facebook and, like, Instagram, or you know what I mean? Like, so I'm connected with a lot of different things. So in this one group, it's called I Love San Bernardino, and most people post in there like, oh, my brother, my cousin, my son passed away. We don't have enough money. We're either doing like a dinner, or we're going to do a car wash or something like that. So I'll reach out to them, ask them. I introduce myself, tell them what I do, and ask them, can I give them an empathy basket? And then if I have a little bit of funding, I'll also give them a little bit of funding towards their funeral service. But
that's amazing.
I usually seek out the people, and then if people know what I'm doing, they'll contact me, be like, hey, such and such sister, brother, father passed away. The thing is that, again, it's low income, disenfranchised minority families within the Inland Empire. Pretty much that's it, you know?
Yeah.
So people be like, well, you know, well, he was in the service. Can you? I can't. You know, I'm like, because generally he should have benefits. This is really for people who have no other option.
Yeah. You know, it's actually funny because even with military, there's this misconception actually where people think that, you know, who are military seem to think that, oh, you know, when I pass away, the military is going to handle everything, which isn't the truth. The only thing that they take care of is the plot, which is great because that's like a $3,000, maybe more expense. So that's great.
Right.
But your family still has to worry about headstone. They still have to worry about transportation costs. I mean, there's a lot of small little expenses that accumulate to, you know, as to why burial expenses are so darn expensive. It's crazy. But yeah, you know, so it's good. I think that what you're doing is actually really fantastic because, again, we run into that all the time. I know that I do anyway, where people just aren't prepared, you know, and just, you know, and especially when it happens really unexpectedly too, because no one's prepared for it. No one's even thinking about it or anything like that. So it can be extremely difficult in that sense too.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get prepared for death when it's hard for you to live. You know, yeah, it is. It's very hard for you to prepare for death when it's hard for you to live. And I think that people don't put that in perspective. You know what I'm saying?
You want to elaborate? What do you mean by that?
Like I'm so focused on making sure my rent is paid, my bills are paid, gas in my car, I can eat, and that's all the money I have is to live. I can't save money to die. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that's what people don't understand. It's hard to live to be it's hard living being a disenfranchised minority, but it's even harder to die as one.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and go on a break in just a moment, and we'll be right back with you guys.
Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental property, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hello, welcome to Fire Up Connect. Are you a small business owner? Do you lack the resources to manage your business? Is visibility and brand awareness a top priority for you? Fire Up Connect is a community of small business owners. We help our members find the right connections and the right resources to help them be successful. This isn't your typical business networking group. Members of Fire Up Connect are innovative, driven, and all about building long-lasting relationships. We work to identify your goals and understand what it is you do and how we can help you brand yourself and your business. Fire Up Connect is about creating business opportunities, community projects, educational sessions, and live seminars to help implement effective marketing programs for our members. Fire Up Connect helps members gain validation in their businesses, learn what challenges similar business leaders are facing, and access to subject matter experts on how to overcome these challenges. Fire Up Connect offers opportunities for organic exposure through our many marketing events, programs, and projects. There are 4 colors that make up Fire Up Connect. Yellow represents the back office and services available to Fire Up Connect members. Red represents Fire Up Connect's marketing and advertising resources, such as TV shows, radio, magazine book publication, and movie projects. Green represents Fire Up Connect's referral system, tracking incentives. And blue represents Fire Up Connect's donation, fundraising, and scholarship programs. Fire Up Connect members have access to monthly business sessions, price discounts on affiliated companies, and all Fire Up Connect programs, book publications, published articles for your business, access to Fire Up Connect scheduled webinar events, a photo shoot session, and a video production. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars and gain valuable connections in the Fire Up community and boost your business. We believe in your business. We believe in what you do. At Fire Up Connect, we believe in you. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars to gain, discover, and get fired up.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station, KCAAradio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Journey to Business and Entrepreneurship. I'm here with Portia Dillard. We're talking a little bit about her and her business at Off the Chain Alliance. Now, Portia, I do want to learn more about you as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
You know, I feel like as entrepreneurs, you know, sometimes people kind of think that, you know, entrepreneurs just don't want to have a job, you know, that it's easy, it's a lot easier, or something like that. What is your opinion on entrepreneurship?
It's difficult.
Thank you.
It's extremely difficult. You have to make sure you push yourself all the time. You got to make sure you hit your mark, especially like for your income. You have to do everything that you normally wouldn't do. You have to go outside your comfort zone just to be able to take care of yourself. Essentially, you know, it's difficult. It's difficult when you don't have that steady paycheck or that set routine of knowing what you want to do. But then it's also fulfilling.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's very fulfilling that you don't have the set routine, that you don't have to wake up at 4 o'clock, or you have this time where
don't
you
talk
have
about
to,
it. That,
like,
girl, I do. I have a morning routine where I wake up at 4:30 every morning.
Really?
I do.
Why?
I do. You know, I think one of the, as an entrepreneur, I think that something that's extremely important and that I think as a society as a whole that we tend to lack is discipline. And so I do little things to force myself to be disciplined.
Okay.
So that's just one way, because at the end of the day, we do have a lot of control over our lives. And I think sometimes we can kind of think that we don't, but we do. And so knowing that, I'm like, okay, this is one way that I can focus on discipline. Waking up at 4:30 every single day. I don't care if I don't feel like it. You're getting up at 4:30. So it's actually funny because my alarm clock, I wish I knew the guy's name. I think his name is Coach Payne. I might be wrong. But
Coach Payne. What about
him?
him?
You know him?
No.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
what about him?
I think that's the guy. But anyway, it's this gentleman. I found him years ago when I first started hearing about self-development, that sort of thing. And when I would listen to motivational audio and stuff, I all of a sudden heard this guy always talking about get up and get out of bed. And then he's like, if you want to take a break, not today. Save that for tomorrow. Tomorrow's when you procrastinate. But today, get up and get out of bed. So anyway, that ended up becoming my ringtone. So now it's at a point though. When I wake up at 4:30, you know, I turn the alarm immediately off and get up. But if I don't feel like it, I listen to it and it's like, oh my goodness, get out of bed. You know. Awesome. So I do it for discipline reasons.
Well, that's awesome that you're disciplined like that. You know, me not giving up is my discipline for real, because it's very, very easy to give up and to go astray. So that's one of my disciplines. And I think also too, my diet is my discipline too. Like being a vegetarian, that's a strong discipline.
You're a vegetarian?
Yes, 12 years.
Wow,
so that's also a discipline.
Oh, absolutely.
Very much
it
so.
is.
It keeps my mental together. So I get about the being disciplined, because sometimes you know some chicken be smelling good, girl. I be like, oh, and then my sister, she can make a good brisket, and I heard it's delicious, and I'm like, sheesh, I wonder. No.
Oh man, I must say that would be a hard one.
It is. It's not easy.
I don't know. Congratulations to you.
Right, and congratulations for the 430, girl. I'm like, I can't do nothing with a 4, 5, or 6 in front of it. Now, you give me a 7, 8, 9, and all of the above, right? Oh, anything before 6 a.m., you cannot to get me to wake up.
That is so funny. It's amazing how different, like, everyone has their lives as entrepreneurs.
Right.
So what is, so with you being an entrepreneur, what is your routine generally? Because, you know, like I was saying earlier, people tend to think it's easier, but actually it's a lot more difficult to be an entrepreneur, as for the same reasons that you were saying earlier. You know, at the end of the day, we have bills to pay. We don't have that steady income or anything like that. So what is your routine generally looking like as an entrepreneur?
Well, definitely with the nonprofits, you have to find granting. Yeah, well, grants and stuff, you know, fundraising. Yeah, so finding grants that I can apply for. And then once I apply for it, make sure that I have the correct budget to submit, because a lot of those times, if you don't have the correct budget, you did all that work and then boom, you can't even apply for the grant, because I noticed that they look at the budget, like your program budget or your operational budget. So if you don't have that, then you can't apply for that grant. So it's just trying to find funding resources and then linking up with different people to see if they want to put an event together, because that's just another way for us to fundraise and bring money in. So yeah, just looking for grants, resources of people who want to collaborate for events to help with funding. Just continue on learning what I need to learn about nonprofits, staying up to date with all my paperwork, looking outward towards different people that I meet within the community to see if they would join my board, because what I'm noticing also too is that having a strong board really, really, really helps your nonprofit succeed. Right. And if you don't have a strong board and you're the only person doing everything, it's very tasking. It's very tedious. Yeah. You know, it's very draining, and it makes you just want to give up because you didn't build your board appropriately. Yeah. So just making sure I just stay up on everything and just not giving up and continuing on and connecting and networking and looking for people to help. I guess that's really what keeps me going. It's just, I know that feeling of when you lose someone and you don't know what to do. Right. You know, that is what kind of helps motivate me too. Just alleviating as many people of that pain that I possibly can.
Yeah. Totally understand that, because that's how I feel when it comes to life insurance. At the end of the day, like, I hate to see families hurting, because especially when a kid loses a parent or something like that, or like, you know, a wife loses her husband, a husband loses his wife, you know, stuff like that. And so, you know, it's funny because there was one lady that I met, this was in 2016. She was talking about, you know, one of the questions I love to ask people, what made you decide to get life insurance? So I asked that question because I even to this day, and I've been doing this almost 10 years, or actually it has been 10 years now, but, you know, having done this 10 years, even still, I get curious as to why people all of a sudden wake up and decide, I need life insurance. Let me look into this. You know, what options do I have? You know, stuff like that. But back in 2016, I met a lady looking for life insurance for her and her dad. And of course, I asked her that question of what made you decide to look into life insurance. And she ended up mentioning to me that her mom had passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. And this is a lady, she was an RN making about $90,000 a year. Okay. She had a couple siblings. She was in her 40s, her early 40s. Okay. Her parents did not have any kind of life insurance or anything. She actually lived in a different state, not out here. But she was talking about how when her mom passed away unexpectedly, everyone, like all her siblings, because she had her life together, quote unquote, they looked toward her to cover the expenses. She didn't have the money. So it caused a huge strain. You know, she was upset, you know, that she's having to take care of everything and she doesn't have the money. So she was struggling to figure out how she was going to cover it. She ended up taking out a personal loan in order to cover the expenses. And she was like, you know, after this experience, I'm not going through this again with my dad, and I would never allow my family to go through this with me. So she was, you know, she wanted the life insurance. Yeah, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She was getting life insurance after that experience because it was just hard for her. And she's like, you know, and it's so unfortunate because this is just her experience now. She said that now that's the last memory she has of her mom, where she is remembering the pain and the struggle that she had. She couldn't even grieve.
Mm-hmm.
She could not grieve because she was so focused in trying to figure out how she's going to cover the expenses that she didn't, she couldn't even actually grieve her mother's passing. And for her, it was hard because that's the last memory she has of her mom, and she hates it, because it was the way it made her feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because she's not the only person I've heard that from. It's a lot of people who say stuff like that, and I'm like, wow. I have a colleague. He's also in the life insurance industry. His dad passed away over 20 years ago. He said to this day, that's the one thing that he thinks about when he thinks of his dad.
Mm.
And I'm like, wow, even after so much time has passed, that's still something that comes up in his head when he thinks of his dad. And I guess it's because it's the last, kind of experience he had with his dad. So yeah, it is quite interesting, as far as making sure, stuff like that's taken care of. I know it's not something that's fun to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely should be.
A topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you saying that, I think that's why I'm so adamant about continuing on Off the Chain Alliance and, just trying to connect with as many community partners and doing events and bringing awareness. And because Off the Chain Alliance's call to action is to end funeral poverty. Mm-hmm. Pretty much what funeral poverty is, just the inability for a person to be able to pay for their funeral, and it mainly affects disenfranchised and low income families.
Yeah.
But you were saying that, and I also think you were saying, like, that's when he thinks about his dad, he thinks about the life.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I just never gave up, because this whole nonprofit thing, it's really not for the weak.
Yeah.
Because it's so many components to it. And if, like I say, if you don't have the right board, or if you just even the right mental state, a lot of people give up on their nonprofit.
It definitely sounds like a lot of work.
It
for
is,
sure.
But I think that's my driving force, because I felt like we did my brother a disservice. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what eats at me, because I felt like he should have been honored better than what we gave him. But we gave him what we had, you know? And now that I'm a little bit better off, I at least want to do something in his honor.
Yeah.
I do. And
absolutely.
This is why I go so hard, Yeah. So
totally get that.
This is why I'm an entrepreneur.
Now, okay, so speaking on entrepreneurship.
Okay.
What are your biggest fears?
Succeeding and failing.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's
both,
interesting.
Okay. Because once you get to to your state of success, it's like, do you become complacent?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a person that's just never satisfied. You get what I'm saying? And
I almost think that's a good thing.
Great. It's essentially, but then you don't also get to enjoy your moments. Like, I don't get to enjoy my little moments of victories,
gotcha.
My little victories.
Really?
It sucks.
Okay.
Because I think those are like the greatest moments to enjoy. Your little
It's
victories.
the journey. It's the journey that's
it's hard, because you just keep seeing the problems and the hurdles you gotta jump over. That's all I see. You know what I mean? I don't see the hurdle I just got over. Like, okay, I just see. I got about 10 more I gotta jump over right now. So I wanna learn how to embrace and be happy with my little victories that I do get, because I do have successes. It's just. I don't consider them that way, I guess. I don't consider them successes, And then, failing, of course, because I came so far. I've done so much. I sacrificed a lot. I've given up a lot. Yeah. I've endured a lot, and just failing is a fear, too.
Well, remember, failing is only failing when you quit.
Yeah.
No one thinks of Thomas Edison, all his failures and stuff. Like, and we're benefiting from it right now.
Right. Well, you're right. Nothing beats a failure but a try. So I do try. I will pat myself on the back right now.
Oh yeah, girl, you're doing great.
I do try.
Awesome. Now we're gonna go ahead and go back on a commercial, and we'll be right back with you guys.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio Talk Show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hello! Welcome to Fire Up Connect. Are you a small business owner? Do you lack the resources to manage your business? Is visibility and brand awareness a top priority for you? Fire Up Connect is a community of small business owners. We help our members find the right connections and the right resources to help them be successful. This isn't your typical business networking group. Members of Fire Up Connect are innovative, driven, and all about building long-lasting relationships. We work to identify your goals and understand what it is you do and how we can help you brand yourself and your business. Fire Up Connect is about creating business opportunities, community projects, educational sessions, and live seminars to help implement effective marketing programs for our members. Fire Up Connect helps members gain validation in their businesses, learn what challenges similar business leaders are facing, and access to subject matter experts on how to overcome these challenges. Fire Up Connect offers opportunities for organic exposure through our many marketing events, programs, and projects. There are 4 colors that make up Fire Up Connect. Yellow represents the back office and services available to Fire Up Connect members. Red represents Fire Up Connect's marketing and advertising resources, such as TV shows, radio, magazine book publication, and movie projects. Green represents Fire Up Connect's referral system, tracking incentives, and blue represents Fire Up Connect's donation, fundraising, and scholarship programs. Fire Up Connect members have access to monthly business sessions, price discounts on affiliated companies, and all Fire Up Connect programs, book publications, published articles for your business, access to Fire Up Connect scheduled webinar events, a photo shoot session, and a video production. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars and gain valuable connections in the Fire Up community and boost your business. We believe in your business. We believe in what you do. At Fire Up Connect, we believe in you. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars to gain, discover, and get fired up.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate Radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Journey to Business and Entrepreneurship. My name is Brianna Prince, and we're continuing our conversation with Portia Dillard here, the CEO and founder of nonprofit called Off the Chain Alliance.
Correct.
Now, Portia, curious.
Yes.
You know, I think that this whole subject of entrepreneurship is like almost like the cool thing to do. I feel like you hear a lot of people talk about entrepreneurship and, you know, being their own boss, that sort of thing. So I'm curious to know what your advice would be for someone if they're considering being an entrepreneur.
My best advice. First things first. Are you willing to work hard and not get paid? You know, a lot of the times, like starting off with Off the Chain Alliance, there's a lot of things that I had to pay for, you know, and then I had to make sure that since I'm not working, I'm trying to still pay my bills and start a new business. It was just the money situation. So next is make sure your finances are straight for you to even attempt to become an entrepreneur, because it's not, like I stated before, it's really not for the weak.
Yeah.
Because you have to set your times, your schedule. You have to be disciplined.
Yes.
If you have product, you need to make sure that you can always create the product. If you have customers, you got to make sure that the supply matches the demand. So really, you just got to make sure you got your money right, your mind right, whatever business that you want to do, whether it be for-profit, non-profit, just figure all that out. And again, you just can't be a weak-minded individual, because it will get to you, because there's going to be a lot of times you're not going to make any money. It's going to be a lot of times it's going to take you forever to get customers, or if you have a nonprofit, for people to even understand what your mission is.
Yeah.
So you have to be willing to know that, like they say, it's going to take you about 5 years for you to make any type of money. And you just have to be willing to accept that. And if you're willing to accept that, then go for it. If not, then being an entrepreneur is not for you.
Yeah.
You just have to be a worker and an employee.
I think even going to that, the benefit of having a mentor also helps too.
That too.
Because a mentor, especially, not just any mentor, right? So if you're going in a specific field, you hear it all the time. Like if you're trying to be a boss, business owner in the healthcare field, find someone that's doing what you're doing, and then find a mentor that can teach you and what they're doing, that sort of thing. And I think that's actually really good advice. Like I've been hearing that advice a lot lately, and I'm like, I think there's some changes that I need to make. And I think that's great advice too, because at the end of the day, especially when you're going at something new that you've never done before, it's kind of hard to know what exactly you should be doing. It's hard to know what direction you should be going down, or what tasks you should be doing on a daily basis. So if you're following someone who actually is doing what you want to do, and you're replicating what they're doing, you're probably going to see those results quite faster, rather than through trial and error. I did a ton of trial and error. Oh my goodness. And that was just because, I guess I didn't know to look for someone to teach me how to do entrepreneurship, or, how to be in business or anything like that. I just didn't know.
You just dove in, huh?
And because I had, because at first when I started, I was working for a gentleman, and, I worked with him for 3 years, but then I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own. And girl, I failed. But I didn't give up. It took a lot. But, I'm still here, and I'm grateful to be, and definitely have learned a lot along the way, for sure. But it's not as easy as I thought, and I don't think it's as easy as most people think. So without a mentor, I think it is going to be a little bit difficult, especially if you've never done it before.
Correct. So in the beginning, when I was forming Off the Chain Alliance in 2017, I met this wonderful, phenomenal empress named Joyce Fairman. She had a nonprofit called Hearts of Color. I met her at an event. I think it was like a Juneteenth event or something. It was on the west side of San Bernardino. But it was just, I liked how she was so kind to me, because I kind of had on like this little romper. It's like showing a lot.
Oh, girl, you always dress amazing.
No, but like, how some older women kind of like, but she was just so inviting. It was like, girl, like, and I loved it. I just loved her energy. And I was telling her about how I wanted to start a nonprofit, and she said she had one and was telling me about it, and just explained to me about the board and how everything worked. And she actually was a person that helped me fill out my statement of information, my very first one.
Oh, nice.
Because that's one of the things when you apply with the Secretary of State, you got to do the statement of information. And she was just showing me all the ropes, and I loved it, and she was so amazing. And yeah, she stepped up to be my mentor, and then a month later, she died.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that.
Exactly.
Okay.
I wasn't either. It was just so abrupt. She had heart issues. That's why she started her nonprofit called Hearts of Color, because she had, I don't know what type of heart disease or something, but when she was married to her husband, they had about 5 or 6 kids, or something, like her kids plus his kids or something. They had a few children, but it was a struggle for her, and her husband wasn't the greatest of husband to her. And she was saying that the reason why I think she ended up with the heart issues is because instead of her feeding herself or doing things for herself, she would make sure her kids were straight, and she would drink coffee and smoke a cigarette to help her with her appetite. So she didn't get to eat much, because it was either her eat or her children eat. So she ate coffee and cigarettes. and that's what contributed to her heart issues. But I understood. That was her sacrifice, but she sacrificed her heart for her children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, she passed away. Just abruptly passed away. We moved her out on a Saturday, and by Monday they found her in her bed dead. Just like that.
So how long was she your mentor for?
Maybe a couple of months. And it just broke my heart because she was really strategical about how she was going to go about helping me, and besides her with that, she was going to start helping me apply for my 501c3, just everything. She was just really there to help me and was going to be my guide, and then she just passed away on me, and so then I had to regroup and rethink and try to find another mentor, and I have yet to find a mentor within the nonprofit field, but I do know a lot of great people who are I'm their mentee, and they do give me great advice and guidance and instructions to help me out throughout the way. But yeah, my mentor, she passed away on me.
Oh, bummer, man. That's really unfortunate. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah.
Now, as it pertains to having a mentor, do you, because it sounds like there's a couple people that you pay attention to and focus on, but do you actually have someone that was to what Joyce was to you, or no?
It's a gentleman. It's a guy, and he's extremely awesome. He's not in the industry. He actually has his own publishing company, and he's a poet, but he also has his own truck transportation. He's also a trucker. It's called Poetic Nights Logistics, and then that's his trucking company, and Poetic Nights Inc. is his publishing company. His name is Johnny Frost. I love Johnny Frost, but he is so amazing. He's very inspiring. He does his very best. What I really, really love, though, whenever he has spare money, he always donates to Off the Chain of Life. So he helps me with getting the supplies for the empathy baskets, or having a little bit of spare money to give the family towards their funeral, stuff like that. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, what you're doing is really amazing. So I'm not surprised that he wants to actually help. When this actually flourishes the way you expect it to, it's going to be really good.
I appreciate
so I'm super excited about it.
I received that.
Now, what is the mindset that you feel like you have to focus on as an entrepreneur?
Your end goal. My end goal is to purchase burial plots, land, other ways to assist the family. So just having your end goal, and staying on that path and not deterring from it, and not letting anything deter you from it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Especially because with your business model, essentially, and having needing the funding and things like that, helping out the community. I think that there's a lot of room for people to actually be able to help. So if someone actually wanted to, do you actually have people who actually donate to you? Maybe that's just someone that you helped before, and they're like, hey, I appreciated so much how you helped my family. I just wanted to kind of pay it forward and donate back to you guys.
Not any of the families, no. But a lot of my community partners, just friends in general, they all, whatever. Like, I have firearm awareness workshop fundraiser coming up. And whenever I have fundraiser, any types of events, a lot of my really good friends, my genuines, my day ones, yeah, they always make sure that they're at the event. If they're not, they're sponsoring it for somebody. So they always make sure that I have funding to do what I need to do.
How often do you have your fundraisers?
Well, this is May. Well, the firearm one is once a year. That's the annual one. That's yearly, and then I'm trying to think of like another annual fundraiser to do. So again, that's when having a strong board comes into play.
I
Brianna will be
myself.
on my board in July. So Brianna's gonna be one of my new board members. She was been voluntold. Okay, she was voluntold. Okay,
voluntold.
Yeah, no, but yeah, so it's just a couple events. Is anything I put together. I appreciate how my friends and community partners and people who see me out and about, they do their best to donate however much that they can, and I appreciate everything. If it's $1, $50, $100, $200, but I also want to shout out like Altura Credit Union. Altura Credit Union. I appreciate they gave us $500, and that was to help us with our grief groups and stuff like that. So I appreciate them. Yeah. I love that credit union. You guys are awesome. I just want to let you guys know. Be nice if you guys give us $5,000. Be real nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to be a part of the board, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of great things that we're going to be able to do, with funding. Because, again, what you're doing is actually really needed, as you know, and I think the most people who's listening even knows too. I mean, we've all seen people doing car washes or doing fundraisers or seen on Facebook the GoFundMe pages. I mean, we've seen it all. So we know that there's definitely a need, and you're actually out there hustling and providing a service to actually help people in those situations where they're not able to afford to bury a loved one. So that is pretty amazing and fantastic that you are doing that, and I'm super excited to be a part of that.
I appreciate it.
All right, we're going to go on our last break here, and we'll see you guys back in a little bit.
Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hello! Welcome to Fire Up Connect. Are you a small business owner? Do you lack the resources to manage your business? Is visibility and brand awareness a top priority for you? Fire Up Connect is a community of small business owners. We help our members find the right connections and the right resources to help them be successful. This isn't your typical business networking group. Members of Fire Up Connect are innovative, driven, and all about building long-lasting relationships. We work to identify your goals and understand what it is you do and how we can help you brand yourself and your business. Fire Up Connect is about creating business opportunities, community projects, educational sessions, and live seminars to help implement effective marketing programs for our members. Fire Up Connect helps members gain validation in their businesses, learn what challenges similar business leaders are facing, and access to subject matter experts on how to overcome these challenges. Fire Up Connect offers opportunities for organic exposure through our many marketing events, programs, and projects. There are 4 colors that make up Fire Up Connect. Yellow represents the back office and services available to Fire Up Connect members. Red represents Fire Up Connect's marketing and advertising resources, such as TV shows, radio, magazine book publication, and movie projects. Green represents Fire Up Connect's referral system, tracking incentives. And blue represents Fire Up Connect's donation, fundraising, and scholarship programs. Fire Up Connect members have access to monthly business sessions, price discounts on affiliated companies, and all Fire Up Connect programs, book publications, published articles for your business, access to Fire Up Connect scheduled webinar events, a photo shoot session, and a video production. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars and gain valuable connections in the Fire Up community and boost your business. We believe in your business. We believe in what you do. At Fire Up Connect, we believe in you. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars to gain, discover, and get fired up.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back. This is to the show The Journey to Business and Entrepreneurship. My name is Brianna, and we are continuing our conversation with Portia Dillard. She is the CEO and founder of Off the Chain Alliance. Now, Portia, I know we were talking about a lot of different things over the past 45 minutes or so. I am so curious. I think this is something that is important to me, is this whole subject of legacy, because at the end of the day, we all leave a legacy behind. The question is, what is the legacy that you're leaving behind? So, we kind of talked on that a little bit earlier. Well, I didn't mention the word legacy, but, when we do expire one day, we are going to be remembered by something. What's the legacy that you want to leave behind, whether that's to your family, to the world? Tell me a little bit about that.
My daughter, as far as my daughter goes, I definitely don't want to leave her in debt. I just want to leave footprints behind that she can follow and be proud of. As far as the world goes, or maybe my daughter too. So where I'm at right now with Off the Chain Alliance is not where I'm going to always be. So right now it's a struggle, the finances. But once we get all the money together, Brianna, when we get these grants going, sister, you know what I'm saying? Like when we get everything going, I want to create natural burial cemeteries. And I think my legacy is just for the world is to know that I was for the people and I did everything in my power to end funeral poverty, because that's what my legacy is, to end funeral poverty. And ending funeral poverty looks like me being able to have land and me being able to offer these families burial plots so they don't have to cremate their family. Because a lot of people only cremate because that's what they can afford.
Right.
Most people want to return back to their family member, even though it's like, okay, they're in the ground, but that's their sentiment. That's their sentiment towards it, Right. And I was also told that a gentleman who passed away, his family, they cremated him, but their house caught on fire, so they almost lost his ashes.
Oh my gosh.
What I mean? So it's just like, but my legacy is that I fought hard to end funeral poverty.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good answer, you guys.
Oh, girl, it's a fantastic answer. I think that's amazing.
I want to end funeral poverty.
Yeah. Gosh, man, I'm looking forward to that journey with you, going on that with you. I'm excited about it. This year is gonna be a good year. I can almost guarantee you that.
Well, thank you. I received that. I received that too. I received all that.
Now, is there any last words or advice that you want to give to people as it pertains to business, entrepreneurship, or anything like that? Or nonprofits,
or just okay. I just love, I don't know if it's the mantra, the adage or quote, but it's just my favorite. It says, retaliate by being great.
I like that. Retaliate by being great.
That's all I got.
That's actually really good.
For real.
That is the best, because I think a lot of times, even within my own family, friends and stuff like that, it's so easy for people to kind of be like, oh, that's not going to work. Or, it's their way of trying to protect you, but it's not the supportive nature that you actually need. Mm-hmm. And so I think, I like that. I like that.
For real. Don't give up. This guy also said, don't let nobody put a ceiling on your sky. So don't let nobody limit you to where you want to go and where you can go. Yeah. So, yeah.
Definitely get that.
I definitely, that's just my best advice. It's hard because it's really so easy to give up. It is. It's just the easiest thing to do. And it's really hard to keep going because of all the different external and internal factors and everything that's going on in the economy and the recession, and the inflation and just how everything is. It's so hard not to give up.
But it'll definitely be worth it when you get to where you want to be.
Right.
And then when you're going to be looking back at times like this and be like, see,
that's why I was saying retaliate by being great.
Exactly. Now, Portia, if someone wanted to actually donate to your nonprofit or find you online or whatever, where can they find you?
Okay, definitely. So we do have a website where you can go on and donate, www.offthechainalliance.org. We also have Instagram. It's at Off the Chain Alliance. We also have a Facebook like page at Off the Chain Alliance. However, the website is mainly where you can donate to. You can also Cash App us. We have a Cash App, and it's $, Off the Chain Alliance. So Off the Chain Alliance Cash App. Our offthechainalliance.org website is where you can also donate to, and then you can follow us and like and keep up to date with us. And if you want to be a part of the board, if you have any suggestions, if you want to be a donor, investor, whatever, you can also find me on Facebook, Portia in Dillard, PorschA in Dillard. And I would love to connect with everyone. And thank you for having me on your show,
Absolutely.
Brianna.
Thank you for
Awesome.
being here, guys. If you guys are looking forward to and actually contributing and helping out Portia's nonprofit, feel free to donate. Also, the I3 Social Club, it's a social club here in Riverside, California. If you guys are interested in learning more about how you can be investing, or if you're looking into business and need some help, feel free to reach out to us. You can go to meetup.com. On Meetup, you'll type in I3 Social Club and you'll find us there. Feel free to reach out to me directly and I'll be more than happy to assist you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and we'll see you guys next time.